Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring. We are Jaguar F-Type specialists, and it is a great pleasure to introduce you to another beautiful F-Type coupe. This time it's a V6 in storm grey or indigo waterborne grey, sitting on 19-inch propeller wheels and with low mileage and full Jaguar history. Let's take a look around. So another gorgeous F-Type in our stock. And this example really is very splendid indeed. In storm grey, also known as indigo waterborne grey, Jaguar have made changes to the names of colours over the history of the F-Type. It can be a little perplexing, but storm grey is the same as indigo waterborne, and it's this beautiful mid-grey tone which looks so fabulous on this car, accented with the chrome window surrounds and side vents and these beautiful propeller style 19-inch alloy wheels, which are in perfect condition, I dare say, clad in Pirelli P0 tyres, which are the correct tyres for the F-Type. And the condition of the car is sensational. There is almost no sign on the outside that this is not a very much newer machine. The paintwork is deep and glossy and full of luster. The windows are in fabulous order. All of the external appointments on the car are just as they should be, and it is a great pleasure to have this car in stock. It comes, by the way, with full Jaguar Land Rover service history. It's a low mileage example, of course, a December 2016 car on a 66 plate. And it has just this wonderful aura about it in this combination of colours. I've spoken before about how different F-Types look if you see them in different colour palettes. We've got a salsa red car just behind it there, which looks completely different to the white with black V8 on my left there. And the greys, and in particular storm grey, are one of the most in-demand colour palettes for an F-Type. This is a car which carries its presence wherever it goes. It's not too formal. If it's your everyday driver, people won't look at you and ask why you're in such a fabulous sports car. But if you've got an occasion to go to, I sometimes talk about pulling up outside the casino at Monte Carlo. This is a car where you can do that and exit the car with your head held high. The car comes, of course, with the owner's book pack and 2 remote key fobs, the one I'm holding here with the Leaper key ring on it. And as we press the unlock button, we see the door handle emerge and the power fold mirrors move into position. And we can open the door and take in this beautiful cockpit, which is in, once again, stunning order. The door card as it left the factory. The scuff plates are perfect. The seats, these beautiful jet leather seats, exactly as they should be. There is none of that wear that you might expect to see on the side bolster and the base cushion there on cars which have not been so well looked after. From the premium carpet mats round the whole cockpit, everything looks great. And stepping down into the car, which is always such an enjoyable thing to do in an F-Type, to experience this beautiful cockpit. It's a great place from an aesthetic point of view, and also the ergonomics are very, very well laid out. The machine-human interface is one that works really well. Let's take a look around, starting above us with this beautiful panoramic sunroof with its sliding cover, so if it gets too hot you can prevent the cockpit heating up too much. We've got a useful cubby hole between the headrests. Here in the centre console we've got another stowage with a 12-volt supply, auxiliary input and a USB socket as well for charging your phone, and the SD card for the navigation system is there as well. Twin cup holder for long journeys for your refreshments, and then the centre console. And to explore the centre console, we'll start the engine up and see as we fire up the supercharged V6. The steering wheel moves down into position, the instrument binnacle does its little flying display, and the engine is running at slightly higher revs for a few moments while we let the catalytic converter warm up. That's just to prevent damage to the catalytic converter. And carrying on with our tour of the cockpit, here we have the center console, buttons for the eco stop start, for the rear spoiler, which goes up and down of course at fixed speeds, but you can pop it up manually, especially important to do that for cleaning the car. There's the anti-skid on off and the switchable sports exhaust button as well. Electronic parking brake, and this beautiful shift stick with the trigger on the front. So operate the trigger and move it backwards, puts us into drive mode. We can then go sideways into sports gearbox mode. That enables us to shift up and down using the shift stick. Of course, we've always got the flappy paddles on the steering wheel. And aside from the gearbox modes, drive and sport, we've got the driving modes for the car. So this beautiful switch here enables me to select dynamic driving mode, which turns the instrument binnacle red. I can go back to normal, and then we've got the very useful rain, ice and snow mode as well, which is handy in challenging slick driving conditions. Over here in the climate control area, we've got dual zone climate, so you and your passenger can have temperatures of your own choosing. And there is the center console vent rising up because we've selected a lower temperature and we've configured the car so that that will only come up in those circumstances. And then the infotainment system, very fully featured. We've got the home screen here where we can access media, telephone, climate and sat nav. Looking around those, there's the climate control screen. We've got the parking sensors on off, system on off. We've got modes for the infotainment, so DAB, FM and AM radio, Bluetooth audio and auxiliary input as well. We've got, of course, Bluetooth telephony and satellite navigation there, very fully featured. A great system with a nice clear map and a great database in it. Over on the steering wheel, we've got the controls for the infotainment and Bluetooth telephony. We've got automatic headlamps, cruise control, active speed limiter and heated steering wheel, a beautiful feature which makes such a difference in the winter. I should have mentioned, by the way, we have of course heated seats in this particular F-Type, 3-stage electric heated. Back on the steering wheel, and we have rain sensitive wipers as well, and they're that beautiful combination of speedometer and rev counter to keep the driver fully in the picture. And another fabulous feature on this F-Type is the full multifunction memory seats. There they are with the electric seat base, seat back, bolster and side bolster adjustments, and they will memorize positions for 3 drivers as well, which make it very easy to have the car set up the way you want it when you're driving. It's a fabulous cockpit, and of course the other thing to say is that it is in stunningly good order. I can spend some time here looking for a blemish somewhere, and really there isn't anything to remark upon. It is in stunning condition. Let's look in the boot. If you look at the side view of an F-Type, you'll notice the large distance between the seat back and the rear end of the car, and that tells us that this is a car with a big boot. It's a practical car which you could have as a daily driver. I've been daily driving F-Types on and off for the last few years, and they are really easy to live with. Over 300 litres of space, which extends right out behind the rear wheel arches. So if you need to carry golf clubs or fishing rods or something like that, you can do so easily. There's an extra stowage here under the boot floor, useful cubby hole there, and of course a place for the tyre inflation kit there at the front left. A big boot then for a sports coupe, and one that makes it a very practical car for holidays or as a daily driver. For security, we always set up 2-stage unlocking on our F-Types. So the first blip unlocks the driver's door and deploys the power-fold mirrors. The second blip unlocks the passenger door. And with that done, we can move the beautiful handle there with the Jaguar logo and inspect this side of the car. And again, everything is in very fine order. The door card, the scuff plate, the dashboard, the carpet and mat, and this beautiful heated leather seat, all just as they should be, totally unblemished, in very, very fine condition indeed, and a real tribute to the previous owners of this car and the way that they have diligently looked after it. Looking under that big F-type bonnet, and there is Jaguar's V6 supercharged power plant nestling under its cover, delivering 340 horsepower and propelling this car from 0 to 60 in just 5.1 seconds and onto a top speed which is artificially limited at 161 miles per hour. And not only doing those things in number terms, but engaging the driver with the fabulously responsive delivery of torque and power, with the way that the car communicates between the human driver and the road, the way that it makes every bend, every straight, every acceleration, every braking maneuver just a visceral pleasure. This really is what the F-Type is all about. It's the experience behind that steering wheel. It's the harmony between driver and machine and road, and it's why we are such enormous fans of these fabulous sports cars. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been a great pleasure to show you another beautiful F-Type. With Sports and Touring, we're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. Do please email, telephone or WhatsApp us with any queries, or if you'd like to see this car or any of our others, either in person or by video call. If you've got a car to dispose of in order to purchase your new car, we'll give you sound advice about part exchange or trading in or whatever. In fact, the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. We're very proud indeed of how our previous customers speak about us. And I will close by saying I look forward to hearing from you very soon.